Hello everybody, this is Nick speaking and welcome back to another episode of Planet Coaster. This is episode number 3 and there is apparently some people twitching over here because, I don't know, they want to be twitchy or something. What's really going on with them? Let's take a look. Apparently nothing. They have a kid with them. Okay, kind of interesting. They're just twitching. Alright, so anyways, this episode happens to be recorded, at least this audio after the fact again, because somehow I forgot that I was doing this, so, or at least to record my mic. So last episode we were over here working on this area between a whole bunch of different areas. I added a few lights off camera between the last episode and this one, a few details of the building over here, mostly just to give a little bit more detail into the area and, you know, just do a little bit of work on this again. So that's kind of what's gone on off camera. So not too much going on. I think I go and try to explain this a little bit further. And yeah, that's basically what we worked on last episode. Over here's what we worked on the first episode. And then I'm talking about, hey, I want to expand this area a little bit further because we got two other kind of sort of sides where we can add stuff here towards the front entrance, which got that one kind of off to the left next to the drop tower, and then there's one in the back. The one in the back behind this hat shop is where I'm going to work today, which is going to be the food stand where the beef stuff goes, and yeah, right here in this back area. And then we put a ride over here, and then we put up the Sky Ace in that back area too. The area up front here also happens to be an area for the Forge ride, which is also kind of a really cool one. And there might not be too many more episodes of this specific park because, from what I understand, Alpha 2 is going to be getting released sometime here pretty soon, possibly by the end of this month, and I have no idea if this save game will be compatible or not, so although it looks like there's a lot of cool new stuff going into this already. There was a live stream already by the devs that showed off some of the new features, like we've actually got rotation on all you can basically rotate any piece any way you want, and there's also things they've changed with the paths. The terraforming tools are now added to the game as well, so some cool stuff that is getting added and will hopefully help this area do even better, or just this park in general. And I'm hoping maybe they haven't really talked about a new theme for this for this Alpha 2 build, but I think there is supposed to be a new theme that comes along with that as well. So anyways, right now I'm placing down, or at least trying to find spots where I want these new rides, and I end up going with this one back here because that seemed like the best spot for it. So yeah, I think it kind of just goes back there, and then we end up building the building in front of it. Of course, there's trees in the way, which, you know, delete trees, because, you know, they get in the way a lot, and they're annoying. It would be kind of nice if, like, you could, like, tell, like, maybe buildings to delete scenery when you place them down or stuff like that. You know, maybe just inside the footprint itself of the ride, maybe just it could be like a toggleable sort of thing that goes on, and apparently my graphics card decided it needed to go with an overlay here because I don't know why. It has been updated and so on and so forth, and yeah, so that's a little annoying on the screen right there right now. So yes, see, they're closed. Yes, this is a desktop capture, that's why those things show up. It just happens sometimes, so yeah. And I think I try getting that, like, as close to that cliff faces, or that, like, sort of upward slope there as I can, but it just doesn't want to do it, so think I end up placing it away a little bit, and yeah, more tree deletion, because more tree deletion is interesting. And I think at this point I'm just like, okay, I guess that can't actually go right there on the edge, so then I kind of find a little bit better of a spot for it. Yeah, there we go. And then I think I also take the time here to connect both the entrance and exits of both of these rides to the paths, so we can at least get people starting to use them. So yeah, that's kind of cool. Yep, there we go. Entrance and exit. Exit goes basically straight onto the path. I'm thinking then this will go off to the side over here. Possibly a building for that entrance path as well. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. So yeah, that's kind of what went on here with this first part, and it's just kind of temporary, so just to kind of get people using the ride and all of that, so it works, at least for now. And exit path. This one we go straight forward, and if I remember right, yes, this one is a little bit wider of a path. And we just go straight in. And then I also remember I put in a path kind of going off at a diagonal over here, and I think the idea was, hey, we're going to have an area between here where we can put some different buildings, and maybe that will be something we do anyways, so... And maybe there will be like a small building in front of this, right, or something over on that one side, so we'll see what it takes and see what we end up doing over here. But I also end up reworking that path later that goes around the drop tower, so here we go with the forge. We're building the entrance and exit for this, which kind of do the same sort of thing over here. Entrance and exit kind of go in certain areas. This queue, if I remember right, yeah, we go a little bit more curved away and then join back in somewhere around here. Yep. And I have a little bit of difficulty getting this one in, if I remember right. But again, that's kind of a temporary one as well, so that's fine. And then this is kind of our sort of curvish path, which goes back towards the entrance, and yes, kind of like that, and then now we just kind of curve into the main path there, and kind of gives us an empty space over here to do stuff with. And I think possibly our drink shop at some point will go over there, so that's kind of the plan, I believe, with all this area. And if you notice, I only opened the one ride. Yeah, I did realize this after I was finished recording all of this, but yeah, basically what's going to happen now is I'm going to build a building in this area over here, and I'm going to take a little bit of a cut here, so show you guys a little bit later where progress is on this, so I will be back with that when we get back. Alright, so here we are back with a progress update, and this is still recorded after the fact, so basically just want to show kind of what's going on so far. We've got the building kind of worked on, and I kind of like how this turned out. We got the little side area over here, which kind of comes off at a little bit of an angle. Looks really cool. I like how it kind of blends in with the building, but I use the inverted colors to do it, and the path there as well, it kind of cuts in a little bit to it, but that's not that big of a deal, you know. Kind of brings everything together a little bit. We've got the sign for the ride to let us know that it's back there, because it's not really possible to see from the path. And yeah, just kind of some detail went into this building already, so, and other areas as well. So yeah, not done by any stretch of the imagination, but it's definitely moving along here, and did have to rework a few of these paths as well, so I don't know why I'm scrolling all the way over here now. Oh, right, I think I was talking about like how I was doing the different planners and that kind of stuff, and trying to tie everything in together, and yeah, everything does look kind of cohesive. I'm trying to use the same sorts of plants for different areas, although that's kind of easy right now, seeing there aren't very many plants, but we've got little details going into this too, and this building's still not in its finished form yet, of course. We don't even have it all built up on the one side, and yeah, definitely like how this sort of window thing turned out, where we've got the windows between the pillars and everything there. It actually brings everything together pretty well there, so I like how that turned out, and yeah, even like the little details at the bottom for like the pillars and all that kind of stuff's really cool. We do have that wood texture in there, which, if I remember right, the area right now, I add a little bit of that wood texture to the main walls up behind here, so yep, that's exactly what I'm doing right now, and because I realize, hey, doesn't make sense for this texture to just be in this one small area and nowhere else in this entire build, because then it just looks completely out of place, so yeah, you kind of need to do that kind of stuff sometimes. Make sure everything fits together and, make it all work, so there we go. That's kind of what went on here, and I think here again I take another little break, and I come back with basically this area mostly finished, and one more time where we need to actually more or less have to record this after the fact, because somehow I completely forgot to record my mic, because apparently when I was resetting stuff on Shadowplay, because I installed an update, it decided that it needed to reset the mic to a different input, and therefore I recorded nothing. Fun, right? Alright, so I'll be back with the next area here in just a little bit. See you guys then. Alright, so we are back again, and yeah, we're pretty much done with this building. There's still a little bit of detail left at the top to do, but I think it actually turned out pretty well. Got that side to do, and then just this main area up at the top that kind of hasn't really been finished yet. Other than that, I mean, this building is mostly done, and I think it looks really good, and definitely fits into this park well, so yeah, I think I end up explaining some of the same stuff here again I explained the first time, like, and also why do we need different path trims? I mean, it'd be nice if we could get like path trims that were separate from the actual path themselves, kind of two different little details there again. Just one of those things that would kind of add to this a little bit, and I think make things work better, so maybe it's one of those things that could get added in. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I have no way of knowing these things, so if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, oh well. But it'd be a cool thing to have, so maybe. But yeah, I think then I end up kind of filling this area over here on the other side, because it's more or less been left pretty empty, and because I didn't really know what was going on the other side just yet, or if the path would need to be moved, which it actually did. There's actually a lot less room here than there was before to put all this foliage in, so it's a good thing I did that. So that way I knew that I had the time to actually get all this in, so yeah, and then I end up putting a whole bunch of these cypress trees in the area between the ride here and the path. Mostly here, just literally right up against the edge of the path, because I can't really get them any closer to the ride itself, because apparently the hitbox for the ride comes all the way out there, which I don't see why it needs to, but it does, so you can't build there. Yep, that's how things work. And yeah, that kind of ties it in with the other area around the line there, and that's what we want to do, is tie all this stuff together, make it look good, and hopefully that way we can observe that every single one of these trees has sticks poking out the same spot on it, which looks very odd, but it's a thing, so we have to live with it. And yeah, these little areas I don't know what to do with. I guess we can always put some more foliage in there. I have no idea what to do with the side of this building. And I mean, other than that, it's pretty much we've got most of this area done. So I think we are wrapping up what we were going to do here, because I don't remember what else I end up doing in this episode. Not really much, just, continue explaining what's going on with everything here, and I'm pretty excited with how that turned out. I think I end up moving a few lights over here because they're in weird positions, but other than that, yeah, it's basically over with, so yeah, I think that's actually going to be a good spot to finish up this episode. So what am I doing? Oh, right, I'm putting light on the sign to kind of cast a little bit of during night, cast a little bit of stuff in it, because I didn't really light anything here yet, so yeah, that's kind of an important thing to do, is lighting as well, which probably the next time we get to a night cycle is probably when I'll do most of it, so that's going to do it for this episode, guys. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!